Okay, Research Rich here with my latest video informational session on how to make your money last a lifetime. Let's get right into this with a retirement reality check. First of all, over a quarter of retirees have no savings whatsoever. Almost a third admit to spending too much of their savings too early. 45%, nearly half, worry that they will outlive their savings. And that's really what this video is about. One strategy for avoiding that malady is to consider following the 4% rule. And this will last a long time if you employ it. It's basically withdrawing only 4% of your savings annually and allowing the remaining to continue to earn returns. So with that, let's talk about the top expenses on the expense side for seniors. I'm going to throw these up here in the order in which they rate highest to lowest in terms of your top four expenditures. And let's get right into housing. How to save money on housing? Well, consider downsizing to a smaller housing unit. Consider applying if you own a single family home for a senior property tax exemption. Pay down your mortgage, or if rates ever decline, consider refinancing. You may wish to generate some additional income by renting out one of your spare rooms. Be always mindful to bundle your home and auto insurance, in addition to increasing the deductibles on both. And explore senior specific rental communities, which may be actually a lower cost outlay than owning. And finally, consider moving to a state with no tax on income, no tax on retirement, and low property taxes. Here are 5 states on my screen that meet those 3 important criteria. What about transportation? Well, recent studies show that over the long term, hybrid autos are actually will hold the value the most, have less maintenance, of course, lower operating costs, and are more reliable than pure gas. You always want to compare auto insurance quotes, pay your premiums annually instead of quarterly. Ask for discounts for safe driving or low mileage, and consider agreeing to a device that monitors your driving habits. That'll push down your auto insurance rate even further. If you are on the move, travel during off-peak periods. Interestingly, Friday now is the cheapest day to fly. August is the cheapest month to fly. Use sites like Expedia, and incidentally, I've got a live link here on all of these recommendations to find the lowest fares and hidden deals. Another tool is the Points Guy, which will maximize the value from your credit cards, air miles, and loyalty programs. Consider always compare the cost of Uber versus Lyft for the best Lyft fee that you can obtain, use during the off-peak periods. And little known, most of the major cruise lines offer senior-specific discounts when you're booking cruises. So what about healthcare? Number 3, well, you want to review your Medicare plan annually. What's best for you, an Advantage program or a supplemental program. You always want to take advantage of preventative care services that are often free under Medicare. If you are income qualified, you may qualify for a Medicare savings program. Very few people are aware of the fact that you can use your HSA, your health savings account, to pay for your Medicare monthly premium, which in 2026, just under $203 a month. And of course, be mindful to adopt healthy habits to prevent costly issues down the road. And in that regard, I've got an entire video on the art of living smaller, smarter, and longer. That's at my website, ResearchRichTalks.com. And that's a live link that'll take you right there. And never ask your doctor for a better deal on a health procedure. He's basically locked in. You need to go to your health care network for discounts. For example, if you have $1,000 bill, ask for a itemization, look it all over, and then call your healthcare provider and say, I looked this all over and I really think I only got $200 worth of service. Well, you maybe go back and forth but they may, to get you out of their hair, settle for $500. That'll be your payment instead of $1,000. So consider that. And finally, if you are on a supplemental program where you don't have uh, dental health care, consider the pros and cons of a dental discount plan, which are far more affordable than the more expensive dental insurance programs. What about saving on food? Well, when you do go shopping, you want to plan your meals and shop with a strict list, essentials only. Prioritize produce, dairy, meats, avoid the processed stuff, focus on affordable proteins like eggs, chicken, beans. Interestingly, consumer reports just out indicating that even though it's bulk stuff at Costco, their grocery prices beat Walmart by over 21%. Who knew? Always shop the sales, use coupons, compare prices to shop to stretch every dollar. For example, Publix frequently has buy one, get one deals. They also, on Wednesdays, Publix gives 5% off for seniors. And of course, Aldi has everyday low prices. You want to stock up on loss leaders, buy store brands when the quality is acceptable, comparable. And if you are dining out, consider splitting your meal with your partner. Or if you really need to get out for lunch, choose restaurants with lunch specials. This is a big one, cutting food waste. 20 to 30% of the food we purchase is wasted. So you can really trim that down by using proper storage, eating leftovers, or freezing the extras. Also, consider starting a home garden. That'll reduce your food tab. And if you are a modest fixed income senior, you may, of course, qualify for food stamps. Now, what about some tax smart strategies for seniors? Of course, you'll be required to take your IRA at age 73, actually the first April after you turn 73, and you're going to have to start paying tax on that RMD. One way to avoid pumping up your income is to donate all or portion of your RMD to charity. It's called a qualified charitable distribution, and that will reduce your taxable income. You will pay no tax on an RMD given to charity. Or consider converting part of a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. Now, you're going to pay tax on that. You're going to pay tax on that conversion, but if it's passed down to the heirs will pay no income tax on an inherited Roth withdrawal, whereas a IRA that's passed down to your heirs, they're going to have to pay a tax on that, and that could throw them into a higher tax bracket. And always be mindful as you're doing this stuff to keep your adjusted gross income, if you're single, below 109,000, if you're married, below 218,000, to avoid triggering that higher monthly Medicare premium schedule. And of course, Roth IRAs, if you do that conversion, that they must meet the 5-year rule for earnings to be tax-free for the heirs. So you want to start that conversion of IRA to Roth IRA early in your retirement. Another strategy is to harvest long-term gains at zero or low federal tax rates to convert appreciation into tax-efficient cash. You can also donate appreciated securities held more than a year to a charity, and you won't pay any capital gains tax on that whatsoever. So those are just a few of the strategies, and everything I've mentioned here applies to the tax code for 2026. And what about taking Social Security? Is it better to wait? Well, why wait until age 70 to take Social Security? Every year you wait beyond 66 to take Social Security, your benefit goes up 8%. If you wait till 70, which is 4 years after, your benefit check goes up 32%, which means that future COLAs, cost of living adjustments, are applied to a larger base benefit, helping to boost your inflation protection. That's pretty much a no-brainer if you can afford to delay and if you're in pretty good health. If you can take it past 82 and a half years of age versus taking Social Security at 66, if you start at 70, you're going to be beyond that break even and be better off taking it at age 70. Now, closing out, just a couple of thoughts here. Asset allocation factors to consider. Know that over the last decade, the S&P has outperformed fixed income bonds by a factor of six times better over the last 20 years, and that includes the 2008 recession. S&P has outperformed fixed income by a factor of 3. Now, for 2026, we've got an unusual convergence of very positive equity indicators. I'm just going to flash them up here on the screen. You're all aware of them if you're following the news, all part of the 26 tax legislation, and some other stuff happening as well. The AI productivity gains, cheaper energy, small cap and industrial values, stock values are now outpacing the tech stocks, so it's a broader based rally. However, all of this stuff has been thrown into the shadows, into the back room because of the war that's going on. But once that war is concluded, these things will once again emerge as very important to equity evaluation and stock investors. In my 30 years of investing, I've never seen these 6 items in 1 year at all. And again, once the war is over, that should boost prosperity, drive corporate earnings higher, and it should provide further gains in the equity market. Now, I'm not telling anybody, I'm not licensed to tell anybody to change their asset allocation, but I am pointing out that S&P returns have outperformed fixed income. And I'm also pointing out that once this war is over, we've got 6 factors here on your screen, which should be very positive for the equity market. So wrapping this up, you want to balance that portfolio annually to match the economic outlook, risk tolerance, and so forth. And know if you are in for a long retirement, you're going to need continued savings growth to offset inflation. Case in point, Medicare premiums this year alone in 26 are up 9.5%. You want to consider tracking your income and spending. An efficient way to do that is through Rocket Money, and there's a link to that right here on your screen. This is from my nephew who does tax advice. He encounters many situations where both spouses and the advisor are not on the same page with regards to financial goals. So you want to make sure everybody's on the same page and avoid overspending immediately after retirement, called the go-go years, so that you don't run short late. And of course, saving tips to do that, that google.com is a handy feature. Just hit the shopping tab and you can compare prices across a range of retailers. Take advantage of holiday sales, thrift stores, seasonal clearances to save a lot of money on shopping. You want to budget aggressively for rising medical expenses, but know that cutting costs today, and I've talked about suggestions for home, travel, health, and food, will boost your long-term security and enjoyment. So just know that this information is available on the ResearchRichTalks.com website. I'm just going to flash up here all of the topics which I have addressed, some of which you may find interesting. I appreciate your listening to this. Good luck in these money-saving tips to stretch out your retirement dollars. That's what I've got to say today. End of broadcast.